Hi everyone, my name is Goni Peles and I'm joined remotely by Yuval Adler as well as by some other people, as you'll soon see. It's a great pleasure to be here and we are extremely excited about the opportunity to present ScoreCraft to you. Before we start the performance, I'd like to give a short intro about the project. First, to help you understand and follow along what you'll hear and see. And second, to explain some technical details which might be interesting to some of you. So, ScoreCraft is a multiplayer music game exploring online music making mediated through gameplay. Each player controls the game by producing sounds. Therefore, by playing the game, the players are making music. ScoreCraft is structured as a modular environment consisting of a collection of minigames and scenarios. Minigames require the players to produce a particular set of sounds in order to interact with the game, shaping musical material. Scenarios determine how the minigames are arranged, organizing the musical material into larger musical forms. The following performance will feature the scenario Fall, which consists of a series of gaps minigames. In gaps, as the name suggests, players have to pass through gaps in order to reach the bottom of a track. Each level uses a different control scheme. For example, in this case, players move left by playing low pitches, below middle C, and right by playing high pitches, above middle C. At the end of each level, the player who passed through the lowest number of gaps is eliminated. This way, there are less and less players as the scenario progresses. You can see the number of gaps each player passed through on the leaderboard in the right side of the screen. The player who passed through the highest number of gaps by the end of the last level wins. Now, for those of you interested in the technical details, I'll briefly describe the technical architecture of the game. It follows a fairly standard client-server model. The server is where the game actually happens. It runs the game loop, processes input received from the client, updates the game state according to the game logic and the received input, and sends the updated game state to the client. The client functions as an interface between the game and the player. It uses the game state it receives from the server to create a visual representation of the game, captures input from the player, and sends the input to the server. What's not so standard about ScoreCraft is that the player input doesn't consist of just standard controllers like mouse, keyboard, gamepad, etc., but also of sound, which means that players use their audio input to control the game. The way it works is that each player selects an audio input device, for example, a microphone picking up a musical instrument. The audio input is analyzed by the client. The client extracts certain audio features from it, and these extracted audio features are mapped to in-game parameters, for example, left and right movement, as in the Fall scenario. In terms of the tech stack, the code is written in TypeScript. The client side is browser-based, so everything is compiled in the end into HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. React is used for the user interface. Pixie.js is used for graphics rendering, and Essentia.js is used for audio analysis. The server side is built using Node.js. Express is used for setting up the server and for routing. Socket.io is used for client-server communication, and Box2D WebAssembly is used for physics simulation. Other than that, I should say that the game itself doesn't capture and stream audio. So if the players want to hear one another, which is usually the case, they need to set up an audio or video call using some third-party software like Zoom or Discord. We are using Discord. And that's a good opportunity to introduce the players. We've got Yuval Adler on trumpet. Yuval also co-developed with me the Fall scenario and is streaming the game for us from Montreal. Asya Ahmetjanova on synth, Ilan Small on an electric keyboard, Jana De Troyer on saxophone, Taibah Orpin on clarinet, James Saunders also on synth, and Elliot Simpson on guitar. One last thing, so I'll switch back. We're also running an installation at the conference where you can try out the game yourself. And you can also access the game online at ScoreCraft.games. As I said, there are different mini games and scenarios available, all of which are highly configurable. For example, in this performance of Fall, we focus on control schemes based on pitch, but there are also other more timbre-based control schemes possible, which you can play online or in the installation. If you have questions, comments, feedback, these are our contact details. I'll be around until Friday, so we can also just have a chat. And that's all I wanted to say. So I'll now switch back to Discord, and I hope you enjoy the performance. Thank you very much. Before we really finish, yesterday Balandino suggested that yes. So you suggested that in addition to the performance, we also present a game in which you, the audience, play together collectively as a single player. And I thought, why not? There's actually a ScoreCraft minigame that works really well in this kind of setup. It's called Darts, and I've already got it prepared for us to play. So, I'll explain the game and read the rules. The instructions are you need to hit the blue targets. Your vertical position corresponds to your mean loudness over the specified duration. That's in the bottom right corner. The little squares represent instantaneous loudness measurements. So just to give you a hint, because the target is high, you should produce loud sounds for the start. Good luck. Great. Almost. And that's all. Thank you very much.